Greetings and salutations. Welcome to another episode of 365 Days of Gaming. Appreciate you taking our time to check out this video. Like, comment, share, and subscribe. Greatly appreciated, so thank you in advance. Now, today's episode is based on a game that was made from a cartoon. And this cartoon is kind of like an anime, but not really. It's like very 90s as it was transitioning from what we had then as far as action cartoons to what basically turns into animes and all those other things that we enjoy today. So the game is called Pirates of Dark Water. And of course, we're still going on the SNES, right? So we got to keep that theme going. And so the characters were Ren, Tula, and Isles. And basically the game turned into a beat 'em up that was based on the cartoon, which was fantastic. The only thing was like the cartoon came on and everybody I know enjoyed it. And then all of a sudden it just wasn't on TV. So I guess it wasn't successful, even though we all liked it. But the game was a great way to enjoy the cartoon because they did the smart thing and not try to make it a little too complicated. And they made it, one of my favorite gaming styles, which is just to beat 'em up. It's just a way for you to beat on grunts and feel like the hero and do cool things. And, it's 2 players, so you can get you and a buddy and y'all can have at it. And if you're like me, you don't mind not playing the main character because a lot of my friends back in the day, they were very pro-tag heavy people, which is understandable. It's cool. So I always played like the big guy. And also that came from me playing Streets of Rage 2 and not usually getting a chance to pick Axel. So I'm okay with playing the other characters, and this game is pretty fun. It's not too hard, so you feel pretty good when you play. You can do some damage and look like a big shot. And it was all like enemies that you've seen some form of fashion of characters in the cartoon. And essentially what happened is you're looking for treasures. These treasures will allow you to save everybody, and at the same time, you got the bad guy who wants all the treasures for himself. And essentially the anime or cartoon, however you want to call it, was, each episode or every other episode or every few episodes, they found a treasure or they encountered another big bad they had to deal with. And that's essentially what the game is. You go from level to level beating on people. And at the end, you get to some sort of big bad and you got to beat on that. And sometimes the big bads are cheap and sometimes, you can put that work in really easy. And, it's just a fun game. Not a lot, needed in order to make a good game based on the genre and the source material. But this was really cool because we hadn't really seen, for better or for worse, we didn't see a IP kind of come out and have all of this up front. Like, yeah, it's probably a bad idea, right? But at the same time, if we got a Street Sharks game for the SNES, I wouldn't have been upset. I probably would have played it more than I watched the show, even though Jawsome is an amazing phrase and I feel like it should be put into the lexicon, but that's just me. But yeah, so I always thought this game was really cool and it was always fun and it was easy to pick up and play and just a good time. I'm not sure. I feel like I didn't own this game, but I feel like this was a game that I had access to very easy. I just cannot remember how I had access to it. It might have just been in the household that I was in and not necessarily part of my own collection, but definitely played this game through and through several times just because it's very easy and it's fun and it's a nice way to spend some time. But it's if you are a fan, first and foremost, you're a fan of beat 'em ups, it's a solid beat 'em up. It's not it's not top tier, but it was definitely one of those that you can have a good time with. Not every game needs to be Streets of Rage 2, and not every game can be Streets of Rage 2. Otherwise Streets of Rage 2 wouldn't be what it is to me and to a bunch of other people. But this game it's really cool. I mean, I know people who don't necessarily like beat 'em ups, but they like this show and they enjoyed the game when I've showed it to them or, allowed them to play it. And, that's what I like about this game. It's a very easy to pick up and enjoy game. And the Super Nintendo had a lot of that. The NES could be that at times, but I felt like also the NES, some of the better games were like, you had to be into games in order to really enjoy them. And the SNES got more into the fun side of it. We had a lot more software that was just for fun. You don't have to be good in order to have fun with it. And I think that's always the best way to approach games is I just want people to have fun, But this is also a game you could just rent and you could finish it, that first night, which is also a bonus. One time run through it and You know, good memories, good times. Maybe get some Tostino's pizzas or some pizza rolls or some pizza bagel bites, some Capri Suns. You know, things that made the 90s make sense. That's why such a great time for, you know, memories and games, and why we do this here. But if you've played this game, you've watched the show, you know what I'm talking about. You get why Pirates of Dark Water, you know, mean what they mean, and why it was such a memorable moment, even though it was very short-lived. I'd like to hear your thoughts about, you know, the series, the game, that whole time frame, right? If you have not checked it out, go check out the Pirates of Dark Water. Like I said, it's a product of its time, but we enjoyed it for what it was and the moment it represented, and you should too. So go do that. In the meantime, hope you enjoyed the video. Y'all have fun. Y'all be safe. Peace.